guys, it's Sarah. So today I'm doing something a little different that I've never really done before, and what that is just throw out some recommendations. I love watching those kind of videos, and I thought, why not? Why don't I do that? All the books that I'm going to be talking about are going to be kind of paranormal, urban fantasy kind of things, because that's my favorite genre to read, really. So I have 4 books we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be great, and yeah, let's go. So the first book I want to talk about is a fairly well-known series, The Shadow Falls novels by C.C. Hunter. This is the very first book, Born at Midnight, and granted, I'm only on the 4th book, but it's really good. I am seriously loving this series right now. It is magical. So the main character, Kylie, she's 16 years old. She goes to a party and the party gets busted and her parents are all pissed off. They're in the middle of a divorce and it's just all this extra stress. So they decide that they're gonna send her to this summer camp that her therapist recommended to them. Now she goes to a therapist because she has like really intense night terrors, and after the therapist recommends this place, her mom and her dad are like, hell yes, let's go. You're going. No questions asked. So she goes to this super cool camp, but so when she's there, she finds out that everybody is magical, essentially, but they don't know what she is. She is a mystery. They can't tell what kind of magical creature sort of thing she is, so like they have a few shapeshifters, they have like vampires and fairies and healers and all those kind of cool things, and they all have these like neat abilities. And so essentially the main character Kylie goes on this kind of adventure in this camp to figure out kind of what magical character she is, as well as she starts bonding with the people in the camp. So there's like a great side story of like the friendship relationships woven in, as well as like a love triangle relationship woven in. And generally I'm not a fan of love triangles, but I really liked this one, and I don't know which direction it's gonna go. There's no clear favorite, which I love. If there's a love triangle, everybody has to be like super good. Otherwise, it's like if there's a clear bias of the author, it kind of ruins it. But this love triangle, give it a chance. It's very kind of cute, and it's a coming of age story, but it doesn't just focus on the romance, just like the friendship aspect and family problem aspect. It's just like super great, and I am in love with this series, and you guys should be too. So go check out your local library and try out the first book, because I think you might like it if that's sounding good. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what to do or anything. Next, we have The Cure for Dreaming by Kat Winters. This book is amazing. I've talked about it a lot of times on my channel, and I really think that Kat Winters should be more popular than she is because her writing style is phenomenal. So the premise of this book is that the main character, Olivia, is living in like Victorian Oregon, and there is a hypnotist that comes to town, and she's super interested in that because she's really obsessed with Dracula. That was like the new book of the time. So, and she's very, very into women's rights. Her father is a dentist, and he is not about that life. He hates women's rights. He hates the ladies that do it, and he knows that she holds those opinions, and he thinks that she's really, really awful for thinking that women should be equal. So when he hears that there's this great hypnotist coming to town, he hires the hypnotist to hypnotize his daughter, Olivia, so that she isn't a feminist anymore, essentially. When she gets hypnotized, she does not change her perspective, but other things change. Like the way she sees the world changes in a weird and bizarre way. And things don't necessarily go her way, and there's problems, but it is an amazing standalone. It is a standalone, and it is so good and magical and creepy, and it reminds me of the Night Circus kind of, sort of, in like the atmospheric, just like tangibility. You know what I mean? So yes, The Cure for Dreaming is amazing. I really, really love this book. Hopefully you do too! Haha, ding ding. The next book we have is The Girl Who Never Was by Skylar Dorset. Don't let the cover scare you. The cover sucks, but the book is actually great. This is a first book in a duology. So the main character, Selkie, she's raised by her two great aunts. They're just like these old ladies that are just doing their thing. They live in Boston, kind of near Salem, but Selkie feels kind of weird. She doesn't really feel like she belongs. So Selkie meets this guy Ben out in a park. He's just like working, selling stuff, and they form this kind of, you know, witty banter. They start talking and getting to know each other, and everything is cool. Then she finds out that not everything is what it seems, and everything is actually crazy. This book is very Alice in Wonderland. She finds out that she's being tailed by the evil queen of this alternate world's lackeys. The evil fairy queen turns out to be her mom. Don't worry, that's not a spoiler. It is right on the back. And so Selkie finds out that she is a half fairy princess, and so her mom wants her dead so that she doesn't try and challenge her for the throne. You know, birthdays are a big thing, so you're not supposed to tell people, you know, your real name and when you're actually born, and promises, like you can't break a promise, that kind of thing. Just like classic fairy stuff, like fairies screwing people over is essentially the overarching theme of this story. But this book is just kind of like such an adventurous, crazy read. This girl gets sucked out of her normal life and everything's cray and people are trying to kill her and there's this weird, bizarre magic. At first, everything is kind of just like happening and you're kind of questioning like what's going on, but as things are revealed, you kind of can like think back and be like, oh, that's why that happened, and oh, that makes it like a lot of sense. And it's like unveiling this big mystery as you continue to read. So it's just like so fun and great and totally Alice in Wonderland. Oh, and also Ben romance. Yes, please, is really good. So yes. Alright, and the last book that I'm going to talk about today is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is actually an adult novel and it is quite long. It's 600 pages long. However, it is very well written. The author, Deborah Harkness, she is a history professor at the University of Southern California. She knows what she's talking about. This story is about a lady named Diana. She's a young scholar just doing her university stuff, and there she meets a vampire named Matthew. Matthew is very old, and Diana finds out that she's actually a witch when she touches a hidden manuscript. When she touches it, she kind of like activates her power sort of thing, and then all these demons can sense the magic that she has just created and they kind of swarm on them and they escape from this swarm of demons, and it like opens up this huge new world to Diana. It is a very descriptive book. If you don't like long, very rich, detailed books, then maybe this wouldn't be the book for you, but I am a huge fan of detailed writing, so that's kind of why it reminded me of Outlander. It's such a rich historical setting in it. The book itself starts out just in normal time in Oxford. However, there is time travel in the book as well as like referencing things that happened in the past. It's crazy. I read this book actually quite a while ago and I've been meaning to reread it. So if anyone wants to like read this book with me, let me know, because I feel that it's so good. And even though it is adult, it's not like a boring adult book. And so I just want to reread this series and finish it. The romance is great. The history is great. But yeah, so those are just some books that I would like to recommend to you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts are. I know not everyone is going to be into all of these kinds of books. However, I thought if this is kind of something that you're into, kind of like urban fantasy, paranormal, maybe these are some books that you haven't heard of before or you're kind of on the fence on. And I give the Sarah stamp of approval on these books. I think they're super duper. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoy these books that I was talking about. My name is Sarah, and I'll see you guys later.